What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you out there in YouTube land. Kind of a somber check-in. I mean, not really. I'm in a great mood, but this comes like highly recommended and highly requested for my channel, which my channel's nothing, you know, we just started this business, but I've had probably 7 or 8 people ask me why we're not talking about 2007's the Poughkeepsie Tapes. And this is a film that, like, it means a lot to me, and I've been pretty guarded about. I don't know what it is. This is a movie that gets into my psyche a little bit, into my bones, probably because it was hard to find when I first heard about it. So gather around. If you got coffee, beer, wine, whatever you're doing, have a seat. We're going to kind of do a little deep dive into my story with the Poughkeepsie Tapes. We'll kind of break down the plot, what makes it so effective, and why this is kind of a controversial pick. It's so good, and what kind of keeps me coming back for more, and why if anybody ever wants to borrow this movie, just let me know, and I'll send it your way. It's going to be your problem and not mine. Thanks for being here. Cheers. The Poughkeepsie Tapes. What can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? It's a gut punch to the true crime serial killer genre. So much has been said about this, and so many people have wanted to watch this, and I think a lot of people think that they're actually finding a real-life snuff film, and to be fair, I do have a strange fascination with the genre of snuff films. Doesn't everybody growing up in the 80s and the 90s? That's what the internet was for, the dark web, so to speak. In the 90s and the 2000s, everybody and their mom was on Rotten.com trying to watch the most gruesome animal attack, car wreck, beheading ever captured on celluloid. 2007's The Poughkeepsie Tapes scratches that itch for a lot of people. It becomes something that they are not supposed to be watching, and with it comes this danger and an itch that claws into the back recesses of your brain and dares you to explore this killer animal a little bit further. The story begins with Ed Carver and the FBI hot on the trail of his serial killing ways, and he is toying with the police and leaving behind evidence of slayings, daring them to catch him. We, the viewer, are taken on a ride through the lens of the police and the physical tapes themselves, as it's possible we think we might be watching this in real time. Trip out. The idea that I'm watching this film and somewhere in my house, hiding in the darkness and the recesses, awaits Ed Carver. It's unnerving, and with all these screenings in cities, possibly it's clear that they think that he's actually in the theater watching you watch this. So through the use of testimonials and sit-down interviews, we are taken on a ride through hell as we are shown tape after tape of unspeakable crimes and sadistic terror. 800 tapes, in fact. It's just a mess. It's just greasy. It's just dirty. It just feels bad. I was introduced to this film through a friend who told me he had watched the show or documentary on DirecTV. You gotta see it. It's called The Poughkeepsie Tapes. He was dead serious that he thought that he found a real-life snuff film that all of a sudden just vanished from DirecTV and he could never find it again. You know when somebody tells a really interesting story and you start to lean in a little bit and you're like, dude, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? That's what happened to me. Hook, line, and sinker. I went out on a search for this film. He had never been able to find it again, so I was like, dude, when I find this thing, I'm going to let you know. I had to find this snuff film that was supposed to have this giant release and then was just shelved by MGM. I didn't understand. So you got to think that the brand, they must have had some real concerns about the general public believing this was an actual snuff film, and there would be major pushback. Finally, I found this thing at Best Buy in 2017 when it was put out by Scream Factory. I got home from work, I grabbed my Yeti, I threw it in the freezer with an ice cold beer and cracked the tip of that beer and pushed play, and holy shit, I was taken on a ride. I was super impressed, like really impressed with this found footage baddie. The film goes through this large array of emotions, from like torture, assault, to switching his MO, to impersonating a police officer, to arresting prostitutes just to torture them. We throw in some bizarre, like really weird costume changes and masks, which adds some weight and like depravity and possibly help him detach from his emotions and guilt to keep on killing. I don't know, man. This film is fucked up. It's not going to be for everybody. It's very effective on the first watch. The twist and the framing that leads to the discovery of the tapes adds some weight, but for me, there's the most meat on the bone, I think, when we're talking about Cheryl. Cheryl's story, her life is literally snuffed out, and her Stockholm syndrome is intense. So bad, in fact, that she can't carry on her life without pain. It's painful. She misses him. She misses the torture. She thinks that she loves him, and she can no longer go on. Sad. The Poughkeepsie Tapes is chock full of killings and mutilations, and while many of these are hard to watch, the beheading and the C-section scene, they just get me, dude. That fully carved up meat sack, man, the little crab walk scene with the needle to the neck, jacked up, dude. The mask that he forces her to wear, and then when he's toying with Cheryl's, It's all super effective. This is just a mean-spirited film that is meant to make you feel a certain way, and boy oh boy, man does it. It has this weight, it has this gravity to it, and I don't recommend it to a lot of people because I know they're going to be like, dude, you're messed up for watching that, and I love that about it. So, is this movie for you? Is the Poughkeepsie Tapes something that you're going to want to bring home and watch? Well, I think that if you like true crime and you kind of like that mockumentary style, this might be right up your alley. If you think that it's a snuff film the whole time, maybe some of like the performances of the police, and like the FBI and all the testimonials, they might not be as effective. I do have issues with where they're showing like the films and the tapes themselves, and you got to figure this is on like a camcorder, and it's like digitized all funky, and it's changing colors. It's like green and purple. If it was just straight like tracking and like distortion and fuzz on the tapes, I'd probably be like, it's still really effective though. That's my only really gripe, is it's like, it does feel like it's filmed recently, but the images in this film, they stick with you for a long time. This is a vicious damn movie, dude. I recommend, I let somebody borrow it, and it took them like 6 months to bring it back because they knew that they had to kind of like maybe talk themselves into watching it, and then when I finally got it back, it was like, yeah, thanks for that, dude, you're a fucking dick. And I was like, I'm sorry, I tried to warn you. It's not for everybody. I think the Poughkeepsie Tapes rocks. I think that it's found footage done right. I think that it just works. Like, it's not going to be for everybody. This is not another one of those Thanksgiving meal dinners. This is not. This is a full meal deal on its own. You don't need a lot with it. Watch the Poughkeepsie Tapes. Watch it at your own risk. And that sounds like I'm actually kind of talking it up more than it is, because it's not that... It is that intense. It is. When you're watching like assault and like sexual perversion and things of that nature, it's going to be traumatizing. It's going to be triggering to a lot of people. And this movie is chock full of that. And there's glee and there's laughter, and like he gets joy out of torturing people, and he keeps them alive, and he goes to their parents and he like makes fun of that he has them and there's nothing they can do. And he stalks these people. He frames people. He's slow. He's methodical. He's sadistic. It's vicious, dude. The Poughkeepsie Tapes brings it. I mean, this is a real movie. So, I mean, there's a reason that MGM was like, nope, we're going to pull this off the shelf. No one's going to get to see this thing. Because I think there was some real concerns, like this might just be one of the more messed up movies that we have. And, it's got a rumor mill to it, and I think that it's deserving of that. And I'm so happy that my friend told me about this movie and I was able to go out and watch it. Does that make me messed up? Maybe. It's not the most disturbing film that I have. I think it's a really well-made film. And I think if the point of the movie is to like make you feel a certain way, get an emotion, and make you wonder if this is real, they do that in spades, man. This movie is effective. It's damn good, and I think you should definitely check it out. If you want to see more from me, more stuff like the Poughkeepsie Tapes, just recommend it down there in the comments. Let me know what you want me to talk about. I was surprised so many people wanted me to do this because I wasn't sure if I could show that many clips from it or talk about the content within, because if you've seen it, like it's like if you know, right? What are we talking about? I don't even have to bring it up. This movie's jacked up. It's messed up. It's for weird people. These are my people. So, if you want to see more stuff like that, it's down there to the left. I'm going to circle it. Yeah, there it is. You got it. Comment, subscribe, follow me on social media. Until next time, take care of yourselves. There's more stuff. It's the weekend. Cheers.